Hello, Internet. So I am very tired, but I wanted to settle the debate between me and the color tool that I have been having lately. Um, we have three original artworks here. These two are made with the invisible bounding box method, and then you go to object pattern make. Um, that's how those two are made. This was made with the freeform object pattern make, then you just mess around in there method. So it has two layers. These have one. One has a background and then a transparent pattern. And this method will work on all of these. It would also work if you like copied and pasted these and recolored your original artworks. That would work too. And then selected them and went to object pattern make. But we are going to do it with rectangles filled with patterns. So we're going to make new artboards. You can grab your artboard tool and add new artboards, or you can do that with the artboard tool. So I did that from the artboard panel and clicking plus, and you can do it from the artboard tool and clicking plus in the properties panel. For me, that's at the top because I am teaching in layout workspace where it has a property panel at the top. A couple of these workspaces don't have the property panel at the top, like essentials, I think. So we've got three new artboards, and also with the artboard tool, we can rearrange artboards. So I can hold shift to select more than one at once if I want, and I'm just gonna rearrange them down here and then switch away from the artboard tool because you can accidentally make a lot of new artboards that way and it's annoying. So then I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and I'm going to draw two new rectangles that are filled with this first pattern, and we can get those halfway across. And if you draw them one right after the other, then they should have the pattern seamless across them, which is the layout that I like for textile design portfolios lately. So one right after the other, and then if you switch to the black selection tool and select them both, even though I drew them and they were originally filled with a different pattern, we can choose that second pattern and they're filled with them as well. So same thing here, one and then the other. And we can select both of those at the same time and fill them with this pattern. So for this one, we need to copy and paste them and have a second layer. And we're just going to keep it the same gray that's underneath this first colorway because we can actually change that all at the same time too, as long as we do a good job selecting. So I have laid out my colorways over here, and let's pretend I hadn't already added them to my swatches. So we could select the first one and choose new color group, and it will automatically add them all to my selection. So same thing with the second one, new color group, and the third one, new color group. There they all are. I'm going to delete the black from each of them. I don't want to change those all to black though. So make sure those are deselected and then delete. It added black because I guess these have a tiny black outline that we can't see because we're so zoomed out. So there, we've removed the black from all of them, and now we have those planned out, and we are going to apply these patterns to them, or apply them to these patterns. So we're going to make the left side all the second colorway and the right side all the third colorway. So for the second colorway, we're going to select this one, hold shift, select the left side on the second page. And then for the third page, since this has two layers, we're going to start outside and click and drag a small selection box that overlaps the left side of the page and release. And now we have both of those rectangles selected, both the background gray square and the foreground color. So with all three of them selected, I feel the Recolor Artwork Tool works best with all of them selected, with like the whole collection selected and then all of the colors are included. If you select only one pattern at a time, sometimes it has to, I don't know, it just has less colors, and so things can get mixed up more easily. But it's still doable that way. But I think it's straightforward if we select them all at the same time. And then we're going to choose the Recolor Artwork tool, which lives in my properties panel. And to me, it looks like a Trivial Pursuit pie piece. And when you click it, oops, oh my gosh. When you click it, you get this little color wheel, and you can recolor things this way if you don't care about applying direct swatches to it. You can recolor this way by like clicking and dragging around this wheel, and you can unlink and you can change the color of like just one of the colors. And because we have them all selected right now, they are all changing evenly across all the page. So that is kind of key, is doing them all at once if you are, especially if you are not going to apply swatches that you've saved. So I'm going to hit Control Z and we'll choose that tool again. And instead we're going to choose Advanced Options. And we want to make sure that Recolor Art is checked off. Otherwise, if we make any changes in here, it won't be visible out here. So we're going to check that off. And then we can choose Color Group 2, and it'll automatically apply the colors seemingly kind of randomly. And we can click this little drop down menu and choose exact. Otherwise, it's not doing it right now, but with some artwork, it will preserve tints, like different darknesses and lightnesses, to make sure the image still makes sense. So that's annoying for us for textile design, where we want to have like really precise colors. So we want to click the little caret next to these swatches on the right and choose exact. So on the left are the original colors, and on the right, these small swatches are the new colors, and they are all taken from Color Group 2 because I clicked on that. And then I can go ahead and rearrange these colors because they aren't applied correctly. The way I want them applied is up here, where like each one of these gets changed to this next color. So quite precise like that. So we're going to make the mint this light color, the dark purple, the dark red. That orange is like the more smoky purple, and the lavender is the bright pink, and the gray is the gray. They're just slightly different tones of gray. And then what else do we have? Those two are swapped. So there we go. That looks right. All of the darks are still dark and all of the lights are still light, and it looks nice and even. So that is one way to rearrange the colors in there. Because I've applied this color group, you can see it's like italicized here. I think that means that it's kind of been edited. When I hit OK, it's going to ask me if I want to save my color group. Now, we haven't changed any of these colors, so all it's going to do is reorder the colors here. I was worried about that it would change these colors, and it does do that. We're going to talk about that in a second. So that's something that you could choose to avoid or not. But this way, where we've just clicked this and then rearranged those, it's not going to change the colors at all. So even if I hit OK and I choose yes, I want to save the changes to the swatch group, we can choose yes. All it does here is it reordered the colors so that each of these corresponds to the correct color in swatch group 1, which is fairly interesting. So see, the dark purple is with the dark purple and the light colors with the light color. So we could do the same thing on the third one. So I can click one, hold shift, click the other, and then for this third one, we want to make sure we select both rectangles that are there. So I can hold shift and click and drag a small box, just overlapping the right side of that page. And then we can choose the Recolor Artwork Tool, Advanced Options, and we can click Color Group 3. We want to make sure to change this little caret to exact to make sure it doesn't secretly preserve any colors. And then we can rearrange the colors to correspond to my initial swatches over here. So light green turns into bright orange. Yeah. Dark green turns into brown. The light color turns into the light color. The gray turns into gray. And the dark turns into that dark blue. So then when we hit OK, if we allow it to save changes to this swatch group, it will reorder those. So all of those correspond to each other now. So that's kind of interesting. If you would like to change colors at this point, now you've seen them in situ, you can also change colors using the Recolor Artwork Tool, and you can have it update your color swatches. So this is like, I think, a feature, but it was something that was confusing me the past month. So under advanced options, so I've selected the right sides. Then under advanced options, I'm going to change this to exact again, and I'm going to apply color group 3 again. If you don't click this again, it won't update this. I also wanted to say there's 3 buttons down here. You can randomly change the color order with the first button. So this will not change any of the colors. It will just swap where the colors are on there. So if you think like one of those looks good and hit OK, it will update this color panel to the new order that you've chosen, and it's how it corresponds with the old colors. So instead of, actually I'm going to hit Control Z. Instead of randomly changing the color order with that first button, so we're going to apply color group 3 again and choose exact. You can, with this second button, randomly change the saturation and brightness. So this will change the color. So you can see it kind of keeps the vibe of the colors, but changes the saturation and brightness. So if you like how one of those looks and you hit OK and you allow it to save changes, it will erase these swatches. So that's scary to me. And you can see it did change the swatches, so we have that much more teal color in there now that was not in there before. So if I hit Control Z, it goes back. It's just something to be aware of. You may want it to record your color change, your color changes. Like that may be something that you want, especially if like I've decided that these 2 blues are too close together. That's something that's very easily changeable in here. You can change this to exact, and then instead of allowing it to do it randomly, we can choose what's supposed to be the darker blue, and you can double click to edit. So we could make it darker. So you can double click those swatches to edit. And then in the color picker, you can also choose color swatches, and you can choose from any of the color swatches that are already in your swatches panel. So all of our saved swatches are down here if you wanted to choose one you had saved already. You can also select it, and then you don't have to double click. You could just adjust these sliders down here. Yeah, so that needed to be darker. It looks really nice now. And then you can say, like, so you don't have to go through any trouble to update this color in your swatches panel. You can hit OK. You have to have applied the color group. So I don't know, maybe this is best for if you've already, if it's like your first time, I don't know, adjusting, or I don't know, it seems like a hassle to have to keep reapplying it to get it to update. I wish it would kind of like save that was there, but this is the one we wanted to make it darker. So we are, and then we can hit OK. And now when we choose yes, it will update in there. So I also use this tool for color reduction. So let's choose the main colorway for variation. If we select these, and choose the Recolor Artwork Tool, let's say we want to have not lime green and mint, but just mint. We can choose advanced options, and we can click and drag the lime green to the mint on the left side. And now everything that is mint is now lime green. But I think actually here you can very slightly see how it is preserving the tints. These should be the same color exactly, and they are very subtly different. So we can change this from exact to, from scale tints to exact. And yes, now they are the exact same color. So that was a good example of what preserved tints does. So that's just another option, and that wouldn't automatically update the swatches, it doesn't seem like. All right. I believe that is everything about the Recolor Artwork Tool. Thank you for bearing with me while I figured all that out, and I will see you later.